All right, guys, so we got to talk about some controversy out of Loudoun County Public Schools, right? The same school district that has made national news regarding parents pushing back against the implementation of the woke, equity, critical race theory agenda that is coming from the school board, okay? Now, again, guys, this county has been at the center of a lot of controversy, okay? And they've actually really propelled this conversation about equity and critical race theory being implemented in our schools, and it just continues to become more controversial as there is a proposal, right, that the school board is considering in regards to transgender students, okay, and which this proposal is going to basically allow them to participate in sports based off their gender identity. It is going to also require teachers to use the preferred pronoun of the students, right, the transgender students, and it will also allow students to use bathrooms and locker rooms based off their preferred gender identity. Now, obviously, this is super controversial to a lot of more traditional parents, okay, and also teachers as well. As one teacher, Miss Laura Morris, decided that enough was enough, and she gave an impassioned speech in which she ultimately ended up quitting in front of the school board regarding these new woke equity policies. Take a look.
My name is Laura Morris. I have been a teacher in Loudoun County Public Schools for 5 years and a teacher for 10. In that time, I have learned so much, being on the cutting edge of educational technology and working with a diverse population of students that I have loved. This year, I have the privilege to follow my amazing fourth graders up to fifth, and I have been excited about this all summer. On the other hand, this summer I have struggled with the idea of returning to school, knowing that I'll be working yet again with a school division that, despite its shiny tech and flashy salary, promotes political ideologies that do not square with who I am as a believer in Christ. After reading about your lack of consideration for the growing population of concerned citizens in this division, clearly evidenced by this empty room tonight where you shut the doors to the public, as well as the emails sent by the superintendent last year reminding me that a dissenting opinion is not allowed even to be spoken in my personal life, going so far as to send a form to my colleagues and I encouraging us to fill it out if we hear one another speaking against the controversial policies being promoted by this school board and adopted in this county. Not only that, but within the last year, I was told in one of my so-called equity trainings that white, Christian, able-bodied females currently have the power in our schools, and that, quote, "This has to change." Clearly, you've made your point. You no longer value me or many other teachers you've employed in this county. So since my contract outlines the power that you have over my employment in Loudoun County Public Schools, I thought it necessary to resign in front of you. School board, I quit. I quit your policies, I quit your trainings, and I quit being a cog in a machine that tells me to push highly politicized agendas on our most vulnerable constituents, the children. I will find employment elsewhere. I encourage all parents and staff in this county to flood the private schools.
All right, guys, so first off, I got to give Miss Laura Morris congratulations on sticking up for her principles, right, and her religious values and the things that she believes. Now, if you guys, listen to her speech, she talked about how in one of her woke equity trainings, that was telling her that, white Christian women must be reined in, that they have too much power or something like that. And it's like, stuff like that, man, it's so toxic in this country, man. And this is a part of the reason why I speak out against stuff like this. Because people got to understand that a lot of people in this country do not feel privileged. They don't feel like they're special in any way or that they are better than anybody else. They feel like they're equal to everybody else and they have to work as hard as everybody else in this country. So when you go out here and you tell a certain group of people that they have it special, when it's obvious that they're not, this is just a school teacher. Obviously, that's going to be a toxic agenda that you're pushing on people, right? A lot of people are not going to get on board with that. And I can imagine being a teacher being told something like that you're a problem, that you're an issue solely because of your race, your gender, and your religion. That it blows my mind that she did not quit earlier. And this is why I say I'm happy that, you know, she decided to stick up for her values. Now, you know, we got to talk about this proposal here from Loudoun County in regards to the transgender policy. And obviously that's controversial as well. And that's probably a part of the reason why she's quitting. I think one teacher last year in May, not last year, but earlier this year in May, was placed on administrative leave or something like that because he refused to refer to a student by their preferred pronouns. And my first question when I was going over this story in my head was, why in the hell would a policy like this apply to an elementary school? Why would this even be an issue in an elementary school? Okay, because how are 5 and 6 and 7-year-olds, what do they know about sexuality? What do they know about being a transgender person? They shouldn't know anything about that. How can you identify as another gender outside of what you was born at such a young age? That's what really bothers me, right? That's what really bothers me. Because I told you guys, I mean, listen, I might be a libertarian when it comes to adults, okay? When you're 18, you know, you grown, hey, do you, okay? But before then, I'm flat out conservative on this, right? I have zero tolerance for a lot of this stuff that's being pushed on children. You know, like you have little kids where you're saying, okay, if I'm a boy and I identify as, you know, a girl, I can use the girl's bathroom. How do you think that's going to work out? You think that kids, young boys, especially teenage boys, okay, that are in middle school, you think they're not going to take advantage of that? You think that some of these kids might not take that to the extreme to where that's going to make a lot of young girls uncomfortable using the bathroom? I think it will. And that's why a lot of parents are just like, I'm not comfortable with my daughter attending school knowing that there may be boys in the girls' locker room or the girls' bathroom. I mean, guys, this is just common sense. It's common sense. This is not controversial. This is not extreme. This is not something that comes from a place of hatred or bigotry or anything like that. No, it's just common sense. It's just about protecting children. That's what it's about. It's about common decency. When I read the comments of a lot of these parents said, listen, you know, we want to treat people equally, right? We understand, we want to respect everybody. They always preface their statements with, we don't want to really discriminate against transgender kids, right? We don't want to discriminate against anybody, but we have to uphold some common sense and decency, right? It's really that simple. It's really that simple. You know, I'm always one of these type of people where I'm like, okay, you know, I get it. I don't necessarily agree with the whole kids being transgender thing, but there's parents out there that raise transgender kids and they're going to put that on their kids. Hey, it is what it is. I ain't got nothing to do with that, right? If this school board is determined to be woke, don't piss off a lot of the parents that are more traditional over this. All you gotta do is say, you know what we'll do is we'll just have a certain set of bathrooms that are just there for transgender students and locker rooms as well. That way there's less controversy there, right? We'll keep people that don't identify, you know, as transgender. We'll let them have their own thing. That way you don't have any controversy there. Build them out their own special bathrooms, right, that they can use, okay? Or, you know, designate some bathrooms specifically for them. That would be the middle ground solution that would avoid all this controversy. But no, like I told you guys, there seems like the left, these woke revolutionaries, there is no room for compromise. There's no room for common sense. There's no room for, hey, listen, let's do something that can satisfy everybody, that can make everybody happy. They want to just have it their way or is no way, right? Or you're a bigot, right? Essentially. That's what really bothers me. And I feel for these parents. I feel for these teachers that feel like their values, their religious values are being compromised because of the direction that a lot of these school districts are headed in. You're telling teachers that they must give up their power because of their sex, their race, and their religion. Like, that's crazy. You're sitting here talking about how elementary school boys and girls should be using the same bathrooms and intermix it. Like, what? That it makes no sense. Again, this is not common sense, right? So Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.